Why would Jesus, in the process of healing a man that had been paralyzed for 38 years, ask the man if he really wanted to be healed? We talked with Brother James Oney about that in this episode of Sermon Shorts. Brother James Oney, Sunday morning, you preach from the 5th chapter of John, in which Jesus encounters a man that had been paralyzed for 38 years. He heals him. And during the course of that encounter with the man, he asked the man, "Do you want to be healed?" Which seems like a silly question for a man that had been paralyzed for 38 years. But in your sermon, Jesus was getting at something else. What was he getting at?
Yeah, I think he was getting at his soul. Because, a lot of times we could, even myself, could be in a position so long, in a particular condition so long, that I become that condition, and I will rely on that condition, and I get what you call it, attention from that, and so I don't want to leave because I like the attention. I like being this way, but I don't like being this way. It's like that dichotomy there. This is interesting. But Jesus was getting to his soul and saying, "Look, do you want to be whole? Do you want to be healed? Are you ready to become whole? Are you ready?" And a lot of times, I think sometimes people are not ready. And so when he asked that question, I think he was saying, "Hey, look, I want you to take a long, hard look and see, are you ready to do this?" And what's interesting to me, because that word healed right there in that particular portion of that verse, it means what I was talking about in that particular sermon Sunday of wholeness and so forth, which includes salvation. Now, when you get into the further down in the text, and it says, I believe it's the Sadducees, the Pharisees, they were talking to him and whatnot, and it says that, "Sir, I have no one to put me." Not that. Where was it at? It was. He was just talking about basically.
One that could put him in the pool. Someone always gets to the pool before he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, absolutely. And so, and it was talking about how he was healed, but that word "healed" is a different Greek word. It's therapeuo. I mean, basically where we get our therapy from, and our therapeutic in that sense. And so it's like more of a physical healing. But then when he's in the temple, Jesus sees him and says, "I see that you are well." He uses that same word as far as wholeness. And he says, "Sin no more."
It seems contradictory that we could get to a place where we could be comfortable in our own pain.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's not the right word. We could be comfortable in our own distance from Jesus.
Yes.
And when Jesus asked a man that had been paralyzed for 38 years if he wanted to be healed, we can sit here and go, "Well, that's a silly question," but we do. We tend to get comfortable where we are when Jesus always wants us to be closer to him. How do we get past that?
That's a good question. Because I was just, when I was going through this, this man had to be a religious dude. I mean, you got to think that he was a Jew, so he knew all the Jewish customs and things of that nature, and he went to a place that had some type of religious feel to it, as far as even the shrines and different pagan gods and stuff like that. But he's there, and he is after he gets healed, he goes straight to the temple, and you got to think this is a time where Christ is on the scene, but some people don't even know he's on the scene, and people are waiting for the Messiah to come, and there he is standing right in front of them, and we do get comfortable in that sense. And so, I think the realization in what happened with him was the fact that he obeyed when the master told him. He said, "Get up, take your bed and walk," and he just immediately obeyed. He didn't, just sit there and like, "I don't know about this," but he did it. And I think that when we come across in our lives, when we are in this particular funk or whatnot, and may hear a sermon, or we may hear somebody in our lives that God may use to speak into us, that we listen and we obey.
Jesus draws us closer, the Spirit does, but there's always an action that is asked for on our part also to go near Him as well. That's part of what James Oney's sermon was about Sunday morning. You can check out the whole thing at our social media channels and on our website about Jesus healing this man wholly. You can check that out. Thank you for watching Sermon Shorts.